a few guidelines to follow. And here are a few. Number one, mute your phones, mute your mic if you are a non speaker. I would like to request all the speakers to refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics to avoid hurting sentiments of our audience. I would like to request you to turn on your video to keep our speakers motivated. I would like to request guests to mention their names and club name. If you're a non-Toastmaster, please do mention your guess and then your name. And last but not the least, do not forget to have lots of fun. It's now time for me to introduce our club president. Our presiding officer comes with a rich appetite for public speaking. She endorses Toastmaster as an unbeatable platform to network and develop communication and leadership skills. Apart from leading this club, she is also coaching a corporate club, Bridge Eye to Eye, and is the Division B PR manager. I welcome our presiding officer, Deepa Sampat Kumar. Toastmaster Deepa Sampat Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwini, and welcome everybody to Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club's 599th meeting. A big round of applause to one and all for joining today, for taking out the time for self-improvement and having fun while doing so. Today's theme is YOLO. You only live once. The catchphrase of this generation. A mantra which we can tell could have bad consequences as well as good consequences, depending on how you apply it. In fact, this particular catchphrase is a new one, but this was actually a concept that was there from a very long time. There was a Latin poet named Horace, and he had coined something called carpe diem, which means the same. You live in the present without worrying about anything that's happening and enjoy yourself. That's the spirit of YOLO. And today, I see a lot of people gathered with us. I see our guest, Adarsh Krishna. I see Sheikh Feroz from Speaker's Den, Natasha from Smedley's Club. Shanu has joined us way away from, all the way from Jaipur Toastmasters Club. And we're very happy to see Shubhadeep making a comeback after quite a long time, and Vinay from Leader Speak. Welcome everyone to Speech Weavers, and thank you for making this meeting a special one. I'm sure we're going to have a delightful time evaluating each other's performances, listening to speeches, and attempting impromptu speeches. It is now time for me to introduce a very special person. This person is going to explain YOLO in greater, richer terms, that you're going to take back something from it. I always call him the content master because his speeches, the principal element is content. It's very content rich. I don't know how he collects it. That's his strength. He's a new dad. He has, apart from being a proud new dad, he also has two of the most enviable degrees for any Indian to have. He has a BTech from IIT, and he also has an MBA from IIM. And please welcome the introverted yet very charming, one and only Toastmaster Ashwin to take over the meeting and explain the YOLO for us.
Before that, we had Joke Master as well.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Mayur. I always happen to forget that. So let's hear a couple of jokes before Ashwin takes over. So I would quickly segue and make way for our brilliant joke master for today, DTM Milind Kulapkar.
Madam President, my fellow Toastmasters, and my brilliant guest, do you know, I was an atheist all my life until other day. I went to a inter-religious integration seminar. A bishop came to me, laid his hand over me, and said, "Son, by the way, by the will of Lord Jesus, you will walk on your legs today." I smiled at him. "Father, I'm not paralyzed." Then came a rabbi who laid his hand on my hand and said, "By the will of Abraham, Lord God Almighty, you will walk today on your legs." "Sir, there is nothing wrong with my legs." Then a mullah came to me, took my hands, and said, "Inshallah, you will walk on your legs today." "Salam alaikum, there is nothing wrong with my legs." Then a Purohit came to me and said, "Beta, you will walk on your legs today." "Babaji, Guruji, Maharajji, there is nothing wrong with my legs." Then a Buddhist monk came, held my hand, and said, "By the will of Lord Buddha, you will walk today on your legs." "There is nothing wrong with my legs. I can walk." After the seminar was over, I stepped outside, found my car stolen. I reached out to my mobile to book a cab. The mobile was missing. I reached out to my wallet. The wallet too was missing. I tried frantically to hail an auto, to try to get a lift, but failed completely. Yes, that day I walked on the way to reach my home. Over to presiding officer.
One must learn dramaticism from our DTM Millen. No one can get better than him. In fact, I remember a meeting where he was SAA and he still won the best player because he's so good at dramatizing things and bringing it all alive. And so now it's time for me to push the virtual stage on to our Toastmaster of the day. I've already introduced him, so please welcome him with a big round of applause, Toastmaster Ashwin Shashidharan.
Thank you, Madam President, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, how many of you have heard about the word YOLO before, about this concept YOLO before? Yep, not many. In fact, I have heard about this a couple of years ago. However, it was not in the same context that we are going to kind of discuss today. At that time, it meant you only look once. Any guesses what this context is? Okay, so this was more from a self-driving car perspective because the algorithm, the computer vision algorithm that the self-driving cars use, this was one of the state-of-the-art algorithms, YOLO, which helps in kind of detecting objects on a real-time basis. In fact, this algorithm was introduced in 2016. Coincidentally, YOLO as we know it now, you only live once, was introduced into the Oxford Dictionary in the same year, 2016. Apparently, this word YOLO was very popular among the teenagers and the tweeners in the Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter for a while. I mean, it was popularized in 2012 by a Canadian rapper named Drake, who had in a song. I mean, I just wanted to understand how what this song is. I just listened to it yesterday. It was loaded with expletives. I understood the reason why it was very popular among the teenagers. But anyway, this was one of the words that was I mean, it's very kind of a very new word, and it's popular since it was popularized by the teenagers. It has some kind of a negative connotations to it as well, because I mean, let me just read out what the definition of YOLO as per the Oxford Dictionary. So it says, you only live once. It's used to express view that one should make most of the present moment without worrying about the future, often as a rationale for impulsive or reckless behavior as well, right? So whenever they do something mischievous, they just add that hashtag YOLO and then post it. So that's again, I mean, so just wanted to like kind of inform you so that you don't go and post with a hashtag YOLO with some different intentions. Yeah, so that was mainly the kind of a description of what the word, the origin of YOLO is. Yes, it definitely is, as the president mentioned. It's originally it was more like the carpe diem kind of meaning attached to it, even in the last century. Okay, so let's move on with our Toastmasters meeting. Let me just introduce, for the benefit of the guests, what the Toastmasters is all about. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization. It's which helps in building the communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. It was founded by a person named Ralph C. Smedley on October 1924, at YMCA Santa Ana, California, in United States. Since 1924, there were more than 4 million people around the world who have become more confident speakers and leaders because of the participation in the Toastmasters. It's more than 360,000 members present across 145 countries, across more than 16,200 clubs all over the world. Right. Normally, when you talk about a typical Toastmaster meeting, there are three segments. So first one is a prepared speech, then the table topics and the evaluations. If we talk about the prepared speech segment, we have speeches that are prepared by the individual speakers. Basically, uh, for it is designed basically to meet the requirements of the of one of the project objectives that is opted by the speaker for his specific pathways. The second segment is the table topics. The table topics is more of an impromptu speaking session where the person will be given this topic on the go, and they have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. It's an interesting session. And moving to the third session, which is the evaluation session, of who would be evaluating all the speeches and how the meeting has gone from the start to end. There is a special person called the general evaluator, who would be heading this entire team, s- who would be conducting it. So for today, there's a special person who would be acting as a general evaluator. So when I asked this person what was a YOLO moment for him, he mentioned, okay, YOLO for millennials might be very different thing. They are ready to do anything with the inherent risk involved. As I was mentioning, it was more popular with the teenagers, right? So to him, we are bound to something that is more memorable, since it's remembered for generations to come. So our attitude and uh, humanity services of our contributions uh, to uplift the downtrodden will pave a long way for the coming generations to benefit from it. And what a wonderful thought. He is none other than our past secretary and the present vice president of membership of our club, our ever energetic Toastmaster Joseph. So please help me welcome on stage the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Joseph, to explain his role and introduce the evaluation team with a big round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashwin. That was really a great explanation from you. I really appreciate that one. And today I will be evaluating the entire meeting that takes place and also some of the other, with the help of our technical team, they would be also helping me in evaluating the technicality of the meeting in different ways. Now I will call upon the tag team where the T stands for timer. I would like to invite the timer to explain his responsibility during the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster. I think the Toastmaster.
Toastmaster
Hello, yeah,
Firoz.
yeah. Hi, team. Want to thank the general e- e- evaluator for introducing to stage. And first of all, I want to say that the way I speak is somewhat new to you, but I will make sure so that you people are understood my language. And I am taking the role of the timer here, and my role is to see all the speakers or the ev- evaluators are giving their speech in the proper time or not, and I will be uh, sharing my report at the end. And so I want to share my screen and show so that the people who are new to here will understood. So please let me know once you are able to see my screen. Can you all see my screen? So here is the board, and I will be showing three cards: green, yellow, and the last is the red one. When I show the green card, it means that you are qualified for the voting. When I show the yellow color card, it means that you had initiated your time. When I show the red color card, it means that your time is completed. And we also have grace period of 30 seconds so that the person who is speaking can conclude his speech in that 30 seconds. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Feroz. I could not get your name in the beginning. I'm so sorry for that. Now I will be asking Toastmaster Akash to give his role as our counter and the responsibility of during the meeting.
Good evening.
Over to you, Toastmaster Akash.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. My role as the R counter is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words you may use when you are speaking. I'll be observing and taking note of words such as you know, like, having said that, but, right, which are used unintentionally uh, when your mind is searching for the next word you want to speak. Similarly, I'll note unintentional long pauses which may adversely impact the speech value. I'll present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akash, for the very descriptive role of yours. Now, I would call the grammarian Toastmaster Lakshmi to explain her responsibilities in the role of grammarian. Over to
Thank
you,
you.
Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, G. TM Joseph. Good evening, Toastmasters, my dear fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So for today's meeting, the word is savor, which is a verb. It means to enjoy food or an experience slowly in order to enjoy it as much as possible. Some examples are the audience savored the dramatic speech. He wanted to savor his time with his family. The little girl savored every bit of her caramel pudding. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, end of the meeting, and report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, and all the very best to all the speakers and role takers. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. That clarity is very much understood, I think, by all the people who are taking the role. Now I would call upon Toastmaster Sushma to a role on listening. Over to you, Toastmaster Sushma.
Good evening, fellow
Go
Toastmasters
ahead.
and dear guest. Today I would be playing the role of listener. As a listener, my Sir, shall I repeat?
You're good, Sushma.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would pay attention to all the speakers and I would make a note of interesting things. I would present my report at the end of the session. I would be asking questions to know whether everyone is focused or not. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushma, for that very prompt way of explaining your role. Now I would hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashwin. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph, for your wonderful description of the general evaluation and the team's description. Now we are moving to the first segment of this Toastmasters meeting. So that's the prepared speech segment. Uh, but okay, so before that, how many of you have heard about this word YOLO in the last few weeks? There was a particular event that has taken the entire world by storm. So if you have been following the news, there was something on the GME stock in the US. Okay, so this was more on a few people, a few retail, few common people who have like met on Reddit, discussed among themselves how to invest, and actually taken a stock which is almost worthless to a very it grew the market capitalization of that company grew by a whopping 13,000 percentage in a few weeks. So there was a person, it was a normal person who used to kind of post in this Reddit saying that GME YOLO update and his holdings. So it just went on from around 50,000 pounds, $50,000 to it went in millions of dollars. So he used to post it on a daily basis. So that's how, and I used to follow this news, and that's how I came across again this word YOLO. Right. Okay, so let's move on to our first speech. So before I introduce the first speaker, so I would like to uh, request Toastmaster Nitasha, who's the evaluator for the first speech, to explain the guidance, purpose, and the objective of this speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Nitasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. And the purpose is for the member to share some aspect of his or her public relations strategy. Back to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Natasha. Talking about our first speaker, he is an ever energetic, the pillar of support of our club, our area director, Toastmaster Srinu. Toastmaster Srinu, with the speech title, Build Your Brand. Build Your Brand, Toastmaster Srinu. Over to you.
Congratulations! You won this lucky lottery. You have a chance to select one of these phones. Which one you select? Either Apple phone or some Android phone. Which one you select? My dear members. Both. You have to select one. You are supervised person. That's why you selected both. Okay. Thank you for the response. Good evening, rising Toastmasters and brilliant guests. If anyone having this opportunity, obviously I don't know about you, but I will select this Apple phone. Why? Any guess? Why we select Apple phone? In my view, I will share just because of the brand the Apple created in the public. Okay, the level of public relation they built over the years. So when I joined into the Toastmasters, I don't have any clue what is this public relations. I'm completely zero knowledge. And this is the one role I always afraid. Even today, I afraid. And unfortunately, my own brother, he is a very top public relation manager, and he created amazing posters. And here is the opportunity learn few things, few tips from my own brother, how to increase the, how to do the effective public relationship. That's where my learning start as a public relation manager. With respect to Apple, I may not share strategies behind their relationship, but what are the tips, strategies I learned over 4 years in the Toastmasters, I want to share with you. These public relations strategies, it became my favorite after learning these tips. The total strategies I am segregating in the 3 areas. First one is before when you create the poster. Second one is while sharing the poster, and third one is after sharing the poster. These are the 3 areas I am going to share. With respect to Toastmaster, these are the 3 key areas of the VP PR job. What I learned in these 4 years, first thing is when you create the poster, you create the excitement in the audience mind. Why the excitement required? There are so much feed in the social media. If there is no excitement, there is no connection with the whatever news you are going to share. How to create the excitement? Example, we are conducting an amazing education session. It accelerates your life. Stay tuned. We are coming back on February 21st. That's it. There is no other details, and ultimately these members, whoever come across these posters, they have some excitement in their mind. They are waiting for upcoming poster. So indirectly, as a VPPR, you tie their subconscious mind with your first poster. That is the one thing. And second thing, when you create the poster, what is the emotional factor you are going to deliver, and it is connecting with the member is very important. Suppose we are an example, if you say, I'm going to have an awesome meeting, instead of that, are you able to give an amazing, or you want to give an amazing client presentation? Obviously, everyone wants to give an amazing client presentation, right? That's where the member will connect this poster. And it's about the way you communicate with this poster. And third one is elevating. What are the things elevating? Once you create the poster, what are the things highlighting? You closely watch your poster. Suppose is the speaker is elevating, or the title is elevating, or date is elevating, you have to close. One thing I want to tell, coming to the second strategy, sharing of your poster. Some people, initially, I want to complete my task. So midnight, 12 o'clock, I used to share my news, whatever I want to. So one important thing is, when people are up and running peak time, we have to share. That is a one important lesson. And on top of that, if you create some buzz, if you respond in the group and other people also start interacting, it creates so much buzz. That is the one good strategy to attract more audience. And third one, when you are sharing the poster, you tagline maximum members. Suppose you tag an hashtag Bangalore. In Bangalore, we have around 1 lakh people. Your poster is going to spread across 1 lakh people. Hashtag lovers February 14. Whatever tags you feel, you connect. So our posters spread even more. And coming to the third one, you have to give a reminder 24 hours before, so that subconsciously they started thinking about your meeting. And it's not just that is sufficient. Even 1 hour before of the meeting, if you send one more reminder, indirectly we are saying we are getting ready. These are the few tips. It really helped as a Toastmaster. I run a couple of the events. This really helped me a lot. And coming to, this is Toastmasters. In coming to our real life, how we can create the brand. Initially, in 10 years of my software industry experience, before Toastmaster, when I talked to one-on-one with my manager, what is your expectations? I know how much I am working. Nothing in my nothing. There's no expectation. It's up to you. I given the choice complete to the manager. That is the blunder I have done. That is the opportunity we have to talk to your manager to create your branding. Whatever you want, that is the opportunity we have to highlight in front of the manager. That is the one thing I learned this PR. It's not about talking in front of the manager or something. Whatever you are doing when you're talking to any person, when you're sending a message or sending a mail, everything is create a brand. That is the public relation for you. My dear friends, without thinking, when there is an opportunity, it's our job. No one promote you. It's our job to create ourselves and create a best public relations with others. That's where the way Apple created, you can create your own brand. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srinu. A wonderful round of applause for the speaker. So I thank you for sharing that how to build your brand, and thank you for sharing your experience and tips as well. Now, moving on to the next speech. So may I call upon Toastmaster Subhadeep, the evaluator for the second speech, to explain the guidelines, purpose, and the object of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So next speech that we have is from Toastmaster Anjali. She will be attempting the project from level 2, project 3, persuasive influence. The purpose of the speech is, or this project is for the member to clearly identify how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a prodigy. The title of the speech is My Prodigy Experiences. And note for the timer, the timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subhadeep. Uh, when I asked the second speaker about her YOLO moment, she mentioned that her YOLO moment is it's very normal. It's when she decided that she should take the first step to go on stage for the first time. And I hope the journey has been amazing so far. So this person is a law student who's juggling between the exams. She is the VP education, and she is also really happy to be at home and pretend that exams are not near. So today, this person is delivering the project level 2, project 3 of the persuasive influence path. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Toastmaster Anjali from Indira Nagar Pride with a speech titled My Protege Experience. Toastmaster Anjali, over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. So my first brush with mentorship was in Toastmasters. Before I joined Toastmasters, I did not know anything about mentorship. I didn't know what one would expect having a mentor-mentee relationship. I didn't know what would be the expectations for a mentor, and I didn't know what would be the expectations for a mentee. I had no idea about anything about mentorship. Once I joined Toastmasters, I joined Toastmasters about 1.5 years ago, and since then I have had 2 mentors in total. My first mentor was a great Toastmaster. He was a veteran member of our club, and he gave such amazing speeches. He gave wonderful evaluations, and all of his table topics were also such a delight to listen to. He was so knowledgeable, and it was very nice to listen to him. And I always felt that, listening to whatever speeches that he gave, I could take something back from everything that he was talking about. So when I learned that he would be my mentor, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh, okay, then I can take something away from him. And with this mentor relationship, that's when I understood, after my first speech that I gave with him as my mentor, when I understood that, okay, these are my expectations from a mentor. My expectations were that I wanted my mentor to be someone who kind of had slightly similar experiences to me, so that they would understand what I'm going through. And my current mentor, my first mentor, didn't. We were completely different people, and we didn't really get along on a fundamental level, so they couldn't really understand what I was going through. So as a mentor and a mentee, we didn't really work out. And so when I had the opportunity to change my mentor, I took it up. I thought maybe there's someone who can help me out in the way that I want them to help me out. And maybe there's someone who will be almost like perfect for me. And I changed my mentor, basically. My second mentor, who is also my current mentor, is almost a perfect match. They have gone through the same things that I have, well, to an extent. We have pretty similar experiences, and we are pretty similar people. So they could understand everything that I was going through or I had been through, and they were able to help me a lot more. So going through this project, I understood what were the traits of a successful mentor, and I can now compare the traits with my current mentor, who I feel fulfills most of it. So the first trait that was given was that a mentor has to be experienced and knowledgeable. And my current mentor has been in Toastmasters for 4+ years, and they are pretty knowledgeable about Toastmasters and speeches and everything. So they're able to help me out in that aspect of how to write speeches and help me with my timing and everything. And they've also, because they have been through some things that I've also been through, they've had similar experiences to me. I feel that they're able to help me out a lot more than my first mentor. And for example, I have a problem with timing. So I used to talk super fast. My speeches were like, hello, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Anjali, and this is what I need to talk about, and this is what's happening, and this is going on. I just used to go like I had to catch train. And my mentor really helped me pace my speeches much better. Now, the second trait for a successful mentor is that they have to be positive and supportive. And my mentor definitely is positive and supportive. Like, I could go up to them and be like, so for this speech, I'm planning on dressing up like a clown and going on stage and talking. And they would probably say, that's fine, but maybe you should tone down the makeup so you don't scare people. And the third trait for a mentor is that they have to be caring and dependable. And my mentor definitely is caring and dependable, because one of the biggest things that I suffer with is procrastination. I have such a hard time writing speeches because I get so distracted with everything and anything. And so when I tell my mentor that, okay, I'm going to write a speech and I'm going to get back to you soon, they check up on me very often and be like, hi, are you still writing a speech, or have you gotten distracted on some kind of tangent? So I can depend on them to hold me accountable while writing speeches. So after I went through all of these things in the traits of becoming a successful mentor, and after my experiences with 2 mentors, I think I have a good idea of what kind of mentor I want to be if I ever mentor someone in the far future. And 3 things. 1, I think I would want to be a mentor, and like I would want my mentee and I to have kind of similar experiences so that I'd be able to help them more. Secondly, I think one of the main things that I would do is definitely keep checking up on my mentee so that I know what their expectations are from me so that I can provide that. And the third one would be, one of the main things that I would have to keep in mind as a mentor is that if our thing doesn't work out, it's not going to be any of our faults. It's probably going to be that we don't gel together properly as a mentor and mentee. So this project has really helped me put my my protege experiences in light, and also shed a light on what kind of mentor I would like to be. Thank you, and back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anjali, for sharing your wonderful experiences as a protege. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Anjali. Okay, now moving on to the third speech, I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Vinay, who is the evaluator for the third speech, to talk about the guidelines, purpose, and the objective of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster
Thank you,
Vinay.
Toastmaster Ashwin.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Today, my target speaker is going to present his level 1 project 2 first speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinay. Moving on, so the third speaker is a very new member to our club. He is the current VP PR of our team. He has developed those different creative posters that you see in the WhatsApp groups that's floating around. Please welcome Toastmaster Vinu with the topic, how safe is your food? How safe is your food? Toastmaster Vinu, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. How often do you ask ourselves if the food we are eating is safe? Not in a while, not in a while also, right? Due to our busy schedule, we will cook, eat whatever is there in front of us. But if you are planning to visit a doctor, or if you are planning to buy any product, just we'll check the reviews, and also we will a doubt will be set up in our mind, and once we receive the proof of concept, then only we will believe. Uh, but we don't bother about whatever the food we are consuming. Do we know the food we consume is free of chemicals, bacteria, viruses, and other contaminants, which will lead to many diseases like cancer, bone diseases, and autoimmune disorders. We generally say in all the departments, educated people should be there, except in the area who supplies food for us. Every day, we pray to God, give me salary hike, give me property, and also give me a good wife or husband. But none of us pray for giving us an safe and quality food to God. We are ready to spend lakhs to hospitals, and we are not ready to pay uh, 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 for good food. We will bargain with farmers. And uh, and also last year it was proven that how important is our immunity. So from the from the food grown by chemicals, this will not contain any. It will not improve any immunity. So I would like to give you two examples of how people are and what kind of food we can consume. I have a mango farm, and every year I distribute mangoes to my colleagues. Once 2 bags of mangoes were left out, and I thought of giving it to juice counter in the cafeteria. I asked the juice shop owner what variety mangoes he will bring and from where he will bring the mangoes. He answered me, but he was clueless about the variety of the mango. But the place which he will bring the mangoes is KR Market. And I observed in many places these fruits will be ripened by using chemical powders. For example, these pouches of calcium carbide will be poured on this mango and lemon fruits to turn it into yellow. What these chemicals will do is, when this chemical comes in contact with fruit, uh, it, the moisture in it will mix with will produce the acetylene gas, uh, and it is very effective to our health. And I was also worried about the people who didn't took the fruits from me, and the same people were drinking the juice from the juice counter. And the second example is, I will have to do agriculture. In my farm, I am growing coriander, uh, and uh, and it takes 40 days to seed and harvest. Uh, but one of my helper, what he suggested is, he will be pouring some chemical, he will be spraying some chemicals onto this coriander. And the reason why he will spray the chemicals is, as I said, it will take 40 days to harvest. If we spray the chemicals to the coriander, it will harvest within 25 days. So you can just imagine for the how commercial is our farmers, and as well as our fertilizer shops. Most of the fertilizer shops shop owners are uneducated, and to increase their business, they will just get these methods to farmers. Farmers without any basic knowledge about which chemicals to apply to their farm, they will just listen to the fertilizer shops, and they will apply these chemicals to their crops. So this will create a huge impact on our health. So from these above two examples, you can think what kind of food we are consuming. Who is rich according to you? I will say one who is healthy is rich in this world. Access to safe food is a challenge now. Farmers should be educated on farming techniques instead of using pesticides. They must focus on organic farming by using natural methods and using natural resources for agriculture. This method will bring profits to farmers, and as well as they will be serving good food to the society. Uh, and also in the organic method, there is no alternative that you can harvest before the given time. For example, I said in the chemical farming, it takes 40 days to grow coriander, but in organic farming, there is no shortcut. You must wait for 40 days, and this will the shelf life of these organic vegetables is more, and it is very healthier for us. And one of the example, one of the video I saw on YouTube is a farmer from Punjab is using organic milk. So he's a diabetic patient from past 15 years. After following this method, he is not taking any of the medicine. So I will conclude by saying organic food is the future of food. We as citizens pay more attention to what we eat and what we must to eat, what we must treat farmers as a service as we just treat doctors as a service. Organic food is the right go, and organic food is savor to eat. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinu, for that wonderful speech. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Vinu. Though I used to be a person who or savored the food, the street foods, I might not be able to do it in the same way after hearing the Vinu's speech, I guess. Okay, that brings us to the end of the prepared speech segment. Now we are moving on towards even more exciting, the table topic session. So to conduct the table topics, we have a special person. So when I asked this person, what is a YOLO moment for you? He said once he and his friends agreed and went for a weekend Goa trip and following his passion. So this person is working as a manager in a telecom service company, and he's current VP education and the past VP membership of our club. He also likes reading and listening to audiobooks. Please put your hands together for our one and only Toastmaster Mayur. Over to you, Mayur.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin, for inviting me for the table topic session. And I would like to start with one quote by Mark Twain. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare for an impromptu speech. So don't get disheartened if you are unable to speak properly for the first time. It takes times to get ahead of the everyone in every table topics or any contest or whatever in your meeting you are doing for impromptu speech. So there will be for table topic, why the table topics are important. Table topics are important whenever in your corporate life or in your life or in your job, when you when to present your product or talk to your subordinates, or you face any certain situation, you have to talk or speak for some time. And to prepare for that, we need to work on that. And to help that, Toastmaster provides a very good session of table topics, which comprises of for 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech given by table topic master. So I will be following that one, and for every speaker there will be time limit for 1 to 2 minutes, and there will be 30 seconds of grace period. So I would like to start with our first speaker, and I would like to select Toastmaster Lakshmi for that. And I would like to ask her, what's your guilty pleasure, Toastmaster Lakshmi?
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur, for that question. So you want to know what is my guilty pleasure? Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Now, I have a huge list of guilty pleasures that I have, but one that tops the list right now, especially after the pandemic has started and having a full house load at home with both the kids and the husband, would be to sleep till 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning and to wake up by smelling fresh Maggi noodles that is being prepared by my husband. So Sunday, waking up on a Sunday morning without having to worry about, oh God, what are my kids going to eat? Or what should I make for breakfast? Or have the kids had milk? And usually my kids are up by 7:30. So to be able to sleep guilt-free on a Sunday morning is something that I always look forward to. Yes, there are times when I don't get to do that, but it is okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi, for that wonderfully explaining that your guilty pleasure that you want to wake up at 9:30. And now I would like to give another topic to our guest Chitra. To what that is, what Chitra, are you there? Okay, so I'll give it to another person, and it would be Adarsh. What's the okay, she's there. What's the simplest truth you can express in words?
Is it my topic or is it supposed to be someone else's?
Yeah, it's for Chitra.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I
What's
can.
the
Yeah,
Okay.
can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, I can see you and hear
Yeah,
you
yeah.
as well.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, please.
So your topic is,
Please.
what's the simplest truth you can express in words?
Good evening, Toastmasters. I'm extremely happy to be here. And that is the truth. Let me start from there. The simplest truth is one which is spoken right from the heart, right from at the moment. So I think that is the beauty of a truthful expression and great communication. Sometimes we think communication is about planning and preparing and having a great vocabulary. Yes, there are times when it is like that. But I think the greatest communication is the simplest truth. What is going through your mind and your heart at this moment is the truth and is the most beautiful communication. So right now I'm here interacting with you all. I was a little nervous when my name came up. That is also a truth. But I was also prepared and I was ready. And I was thinking what is going to be my topic, because the earlier topic was very interesting. But isn't it always like that? Somebody else's topic is very interesting and attractive, but this one is equally good. So I'm glad to be here, and that is a simple truth for this moment. With that, let me hand it over to the TTM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chitra, for giving wonderful thoughts on that topic. And now I would like to invite Toastmaster Adarsh. Yeah. So Adarsh, your
Hello.
topic is, what's your fondest memory from past 3 years?
So my fondest memory from the past 3 years has got to be the time when I got to take over my mom's business. Now I didn't exactly take over her business. but I got the opportunity of being a part of it. So it was something that I wasn't expecting. It was after I dropped out from a course called Chartered Accountant, a course which is lucrative, a course that is a coveted course, which is loved by everybody in this country. It's a country that a lot of people, it's a country where people respect the course, they honor the course, they think of it as, something that's absolutely incredible. And when I left that course, I had a lot of things going through my mind at that time. I was thinking about, how leaving such a course would probably, leave me in tears in life. But what I did at that day, seemed pretty off. But as time went on, I just changed myself and I, moved towards a different course. I just moved on, to be honest with you. I moved on from that course and I moved into a field called wealth management, a field that I wasn't too familiar with at first. Although I'd seen my mom work in that field for a long time in my life, I never really personally got to be a part of it because of how difficult it was. My mom used to deal with a lot of chats. She used to deal with a lot of clients every day, something that I was afraid of personally because I wasn't someone that wanted to talk to people. I've been introverted all my life. I used to often stay away from the public. I used to just stay at home and play my video games or do whatever that is that many young kids used to do at that time. So I just tried to change myself the moment that opportunity came up, and the opportunity that came up was to take over my mom's business. So I didn't exactly take over her business, but rather I got to be a partner. I got to help her out. I got to be behind her, and I got to back her the whole time. And when I was provided the opportunity, I just took it up, although I didn't think about it all that much. And so most recently, we just happened to start a company of our own. And my mom owns a total of 3 companies at the moment, and I happen to run one of them, although I'm not too good at it. She's still my mentor, and she helps me out every time. And I recently completed a course called Child Wealth Manager. So I'm still new to the field. I'm still trying to understand everything around me. But this is my fondest memory from the last 3 years. It is to be able to be a part of my mom's business, to be able to understand what she does exactly, is to be able to understand the sort of stress that she goes through in her life. And I got to, put myself in that position. I got to, put myself in her shoes, and I got to see what it is like to be a breadwinner in the family. Now, of course, I'm not making any money at the moment, but what I'm learning at the moment is something absolutely incredible. So thank you very much for having me, and for the next Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, others, for that thoughtfully provoking thoughts of yours on your memories. And now I would like to get to the next topic, and which is for Toastmaster Shushma. And your topic is, what is the most spontaneous things you have ever done? Toastmaster Shushma.
Spontaneous. Okay.
Yeah.
So joining Toastmasters, that decision was spontaneously taken. And yeah, the day I have joined as a guest, that minute only I have decided I should continue and I should be a member. So that was the decision. There were so many decisions, but exactly I don't remember. But this was the very recent decision which was taken very spontaneously. Now I'm enjoying being a member of Toastmasters. Yes, yes, that was the decision taken by me spontaneously during the meeting. Over to Toastmaster, over to Table Toastmaster. Mayur.
Thank you so much, Shushma, for that response of yours. With that, I would like to move to the next topic of mine too, and I would like to give it to Sunita. Sunita, are you there?
Yes, Table Master. I'm here.
So your topic is, what do you do over and over again that you think you had doing, and apart from job you have to speak?
Thank you. If you ask this question to many of us, I'm sure all of you are wondering that wish you had got this topic, because we do many things to do it. Eating junk, that's one. Not taking care of not exercising. And these are things that we actually do over and over. But we, after doing is when we realize that, oh no, this is the last day that I'm going to do it. I'm not going to repeat this. But how soon you're going to get back to that is again left to you. And something that over and over is, of course, taking care of our kids, our families, and all those household chores that we all do, that's over and over. In addition to that, I think uh, watching movies is also one of the craze that I've got, probably. This is all I do over and over again. Thank you, and over to you, TTM.
Thank you so much, Sunita, that we have a lot of things we do repeatedly, but we want to avoid it, like food and movies. But and very big thing for me is watching series as back to back in whole night on the weekends. That is my guilty pleasure, as well as I would like to avoid it as well. Now, I would like to ask last topic to our Toastmaster Akash. And your topic is, whom do you secretly envy and why? Toastmaster Akash.
Okay. Maybe I need the meaning, and envy means
Yeah, you are jealous of some.
jealous. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur, for that topic. Uh, I uh, envy mostly my brother. So the thing is, like, from my from his 12th standard, he has been traveling all around the world, where I was sitting at my home, uh, studying nearby in my locality. I had done my BTech in Kerala. It is like 100 kilometer far from my home. At the same time, he did his BTech from uh, IIT Roorkee. It is like 1,000 kilometers far from my home. Um, he did his um, uh, training, like his internship program in Germany for 3 months. For more than 1 month, he did it there. For me, my internship was like a 2-day trip, which is again somewhere near to my place. And then he did his MBA from Indore, and I did my MTech from Calicut. It's again just 67 kilometers from my hometown. And during his internship, again he went to Brazil, and he roamed around his the Amazon forest and all during that time. I never got a chance to get out of India, and so I envy mostly my brother, and that's it. Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you so much, Akash, for your wonderful response. Like similar way, my youngest brother told me always that me and my younger brother always travels a lot, studied outside of our hometown and all. So he always say, bro, you are always studied, and why did you leave me with parents and all? So that way, it is a wonderful explanation by you. With that, I would like to conclude table topic session, and I have enjoyed thoroughly all the table topics responses from all the table topic speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur. What an excellent, entertaining, and enticing table topic session. Please give a big round of applause to table topic master Mayur for dishing out this superb session, and each and every table topic speakers for coming up with dazzling speeches. We will be moving on to the next segment, that is the evaluation session. So for that, I would now call upon the general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Joseph, to take over. Over to you, Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashwin. Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Natasha for a speech evaluation of the first speaker, Toastmaster Srinu Babu. Over to you, Toastmaster Natasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. It was such a pleasure to be able to relate this speech with this theme of the meeting with your speech today, Toastmaster Srinu. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to savor the teachings of a public relation manager. So thank you for that opportunity. Coming straight to your evaluation, couple of things that I would like to highlight that you really excelled at was one, the way you were dressed and the way you were standing in front in a Zoom meeting. You showcased your authoritative look and feel, which went extremely well with the guidelines of the project. I also felt that you had a very, very well organized speech when you told us about, that you're going to give us 3 areas of public relation strategies before creating a poster, while showcasing the poster, and after creating the poster. I also enjoyed your explanatory style of speaking, the way you went on to say, before, I'm going to tell you 3 areas. You create excitement, you generate the emotional factor, you elevate the message in your poster. I think that was brilliantly done, and there was an immediate connect with the audience. Another feel, I think it's a very unique skill to be able to expose your vulnerability to the audience. And you did that when you said in the beginning, when you said, that when I joined Toastmaster, I had zero knowledge. And even today, I am afraid. Now, it's not very easy for a speaker to come up and showcase his vulnerability to the audience. So those things, because it's a project 2, I do have a few suggestions. I think when you started off with the Apple phone, you immediately got my attention, and I was hoping that you would somehow connect it with the subject of public relation. You did say that, I would choose Apple because they have a great public relations strategy. However, I found that message missing through the various aspects of your speech. That you could have related how they've created the interest in the audience. Another thing is visual always helps. So you did say that your club has a great PR team, but I feel that if you had used visual aids or posters that you in your club have used to showcase the various aspects of the message that you were trying to convey, that would have added to the impact that you were trying to create. And finally, the call for action. You did have a call for action when you said that create opportunity for yourself and market your own brand, but it was lost maybe because you rushed through the last part of your speech, and I completely lost that message. I thought it was very powerful. So considering the caliber of your speech, your as a speaker and the level 4, I would suggest if you would like to redo the project, having especially with that call for action, it would add more value to us as listeners and to you maybe as a Toastmaster. All the very best, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Natasha, for your detailed evaluation of the speaker, Srinu Babu. I fully concur with you. And I also found that in the last, he gave a message that was missing. The message was that you also have dare enough to talk to your manager about your quality. Don't give them the opportunity to push you down. Rather, you have to elevate yourself by saying that I am so-and-so and this is my brand. That was a very good message by Srinu Babu for that. And I would agree and concur with you at the other part of the evaluation. Now, I would call upon Toastmaster Subhadeep to evaluate the second speaker, Toastmaster Subhadeep.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, respectable guests, and the speaker in the spotlight right now, who is Toastmaster Anjali. The topic that you chose for today's speech, it's of great value. The major reason being it's a connection between a mentor and a mentee. And according to what Oprah Winfrey used to say, a mentor is someone who allows you to see hope within yourself. A few things which you really excelled at, starting with building up a personal story. Your story was actually relatable. We could all connect to that. And in addition to that, you have an excellent book of words, or what we call it as vocabulary. And throughout the speech, I could see your talent for narrating a story. Or, in other words, you are a powerful storyteller. You also pointed the three traits of expectations that you had from your mentor, starting with support, preparedness, and finally, the dependability. So you laid out your expectations and you shared that with the entire audience today. Now, coming to the recommendations, the project demanded that you share the experiences that you had as a prodigy. And what I felt is, since you are already a very good storyteller, you could have showed us, or you could have shared a few more glimpses from your personal life. That was one. The other thing is, I couldn't notice the body language being utilized to that aspect within your speech. Maybe that is due to lack of space, or due to the camera, anything. But yeah, if you could have utilized the body language, your speech would have been more spot on. And finally, I felt towards the end, you ended on an abrupt note, because I was expecting a little bit more, because your speech was so nice to hear, and I was actually able to connect and relate to so many instances. So with that being said, all in all, a great speaker, a good personal connect that was established, and a good stage presence. So if you work on the few recommendations that I provided, believe me, you already have the ingredients of becoming a great speaker. Thank you, and over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Subhadeep, for your detailed evaluation. I concur with your points very well. And also, I like to mention here that the speaker has given a message that is very correct, I would say, that when she becomes a mentor, sorry, how she will behave and what is her desire to help the protege. That was a very good message that she has given to us. Thank you so much for the evaluation. Now I will call upon Toastmaster Vinay to evaluate the third speaker. Toastmaster Anjali, third speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Vinay.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, everyone, and hello to my target speaker, Toastmaster Vinu. So I'm here to evaluate your speech, and yeah, the speech that you had given about the food really motivates at least some people in the meeting to avoid junk food that which we had addicted to, right? Also, you had given some tips and told some money management ideas about these junk foods that which we are eating outside, because that was really good, because nowadays no one here uh, are not really helpful to one another, but you really shown your social responsibility by selecting the content about the safe and avoiding unhealthy food. uh, that really appreciable. Also, I love the statement that you mentioned after your explanation of your examples. The one who is healthy was really good. Yes, I agree to you, because nowadays the people who are in the age of 30 to 40 were really facing some issues or troubles during this food because of this food. So yes, I agree with this statement. And after listening this your speech, I thought that to ask some tips from you to reduce my belly fat. Yeah. So now I'd like to mention some areas of improvements that you need to work on. See, you are really confident while presenting your speech, but you are not stable while you are standing. And it shows that you are not really confident while you are presenting your speech. Standing, standing without any movement will not make any sense. But you need to move while you are giving your speech, but you are just moving like this for this some time. So that really reduces or dominates your confidence while you're giving your speech. And the next one, you may use some vocal varieties in your speech while explaining this concept. The tip I would like to give you is while maintaining some vocal varieties, you can easily grab the attention of audience who are there in the meet, and you also can concentrate on that. So also the last one I would like to mention is that your eye contact. So somewhere in the whole speech, I miss your eye contact for some time because the angle of camera that which you kept uh, in bottom angle. See, if the camera was in front of your head, it was easy to for the audience to observe your hand gestures and all. So that was really good. Also, please concentrate upon your structure, because I think you are hurry to conclude the speech because of the structure and also the time limit. So please concentrate on these areas which I have mentioned. And over to you, General Evaluator of the.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinay, for your very detailed explanation on this speech. I would concur with you, but the only thing is you have to reduce your points so that you can be in time for his speech, this evaluation. I would like to say a little more adding to that one is the fertilizers that they are using nowadays is also called a chemical then. And because they use the fertilizer, it also attracts the insects, and again you are spraying the insecticide. These are the things that spoil our health during the harvest season, what we are eating with. And secondly, the what you call the organic is nothing but a natural compost that you use. In my childhood days, I used to have such kind of food during those days because there was no chemicals. But nowadays, it is really spoiling the health and all. And the message, what he has given us is also very good, that you have to be more careful in what we are eating. The processed food is called the junk food. It has to be explained in detail so that he has missed it. Second thing is, I concur with you in the position of the camera and all those things which he has to take care, and his energy level is very low. It has to be improved during his speech time. Thank you, Toastmaster Vinay, for your explanation. Now, I will call upon the tag team. First of all, I will call upon our timer, the Rolex timer. Over to you.
Thank you, General
Feroz.
Evaluator. I will be sharing my screen. Here are the names. All the speakers are taking again, and in this I see 4 people are not qualified. So that is TM Nine has taken 3 minutes 37 seconds, and TM Lakshmi has taken 55 seconds. To TM Ushma has taken 44, and Mrs. Satish has taken 58 seconds. So I want to leave the decision to the G so that he will decide what to do with the unqualified members. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Feroz, for this very detailed timer that you kept like Rolex. Thank you for that. And now I will call upon Toastmaster Akash to give his report on our counter.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Joseph. I couldn't find any, I couldn't note any particular points for the following people: Ashwini, Deepa, Nityam Milind, Joseph sir, TM Lakshmi. So yeah, for Ashwin, Tiamori, there were 10 plus hours, and there was two so I could note, and one I noted him repeating kind of 5 times, and TM Nitasha have noted 5 times and Toastmaster Srinu Babu I've noted 10 plus R's and one and I've noted 2 times repeated I, and for Toastmaster Anjali, I've noted 2 times A, 2 times and 2 times so. And I've noted that she has used and a couple of times, like 10 times as a starting of the sentence. Um, uh, TM Vinu, I've noted 10 plus hours. TM Mayur, I didn't. I have noted 2 times hours. That too at the end only, and then repeated. So I have noted. Guest Chitra, I have noted 1 hour. Guest others, I have noted 3 hours. 2 saws, and I have noted him repeating "5 times. And TM Sushma, I have noted 2 times, and TM Sunita, I have noted 6 hours. Yeah, that is my R counter report for today. Thank you. Over to you.
That is very good, Toastmaster Akash, because you have to put your ear right from the beginning of the meeting to the end of the meeting. So that was really a tough job for you. And you have noted down it very carefully also. Thank you so much. Now, Toastmaster Lakshmi, our grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, you can give your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph. So I have been savoring every second of today's meeting that I was caught off guard when my name was called out for the Toastmaster, for the table topic session, because of which I forgot to use the word savor in my speech as a grammarian. However, we had 2 people using this word today, and I was really excited to hear that. One was by Natasha, the other was by Toastmaster Ashwin. Thank you so much for using this word. Coming to some good usage that we had today. Rich appetite for public speaking, carpe diem. In fact, I was planning to use this as the word of the day today, and I'm glad I didn't. Interreligious integration, dramatism, upliftment of downtrodden, veteran member. So veteran member is a nice usage or a little more polished usage instead of using a senior member. Pace my speech, simplest truth, lucrative, entertaining, and enticing. These were some of the good usage that I've captured today. Coming to areas of improvement. Now, basically, what happens is I have, kind of captured it under under three categories. The first category is because the influence of our mother tongue while we speak English. Now, most of us, we have our own mother tongues, not just in India, even outside India. And this mother tongue influence plays a big role when we speak English. One of the best way to correct this is by probably hearing or listening to more English news or English channels and consciously correcting our pronunciations. Sometimes it is the way we rotate our tongue, or the tongue has to touch the top part of your gum, a lot of things like that. And I'm sure there are YouTube channels or YouTube videos which would help us with that. The second category was the use of the article the. Now, the is an article along with a and an. However, the has to be used only with definitive nouns. It can be singular or plural. Like, for example, you say the sun or the moon, right? But you don't have to say, like, there were a few examples in today's speech. I'll just quote it, where the was used in the wrong way. When I joined into the Toastmaster, that is wrong. How to do the effective PR? So that could have been how to do an effective PR. The was not required there. When I joined into the Toastmaster could have been when I joined Toastmasters. Simple. Couple of the events. Couple of events. Highlight in front of the manager. Highlight to the manager. Instead of saying highlight in front of the manager, it could have been highlight to the manager or to my manager. So this was the second section where the article the was used inappropriately a couple of times. Now the last part would be pronunciations, which were slightly wrong. It's whooping and not whooping. It is opportunities, not opportunities. Also, yes, another point here is we tend to attach a, the sound a, at the end of each word. And this is again a mother tongue influence that we have, like eye contact that and all These are all because of our mother tongue influence. Each one of us have our own, the way we pronounce it. So probably this is something that we can be a little more conscious about and try to correct it. That's all from me, G, and over to you.
Thank you very much for that detailed. Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you very much for that. I'm sorry for that interference. It is a very good way of
Joseph, sir. Video seems to be stuck, right, for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. I think we'll push ahead with Sushma's report then, until Joseph sir comes back.
Yes. Okay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I have prepared few questions to know whether all were attentive. In which year YOLO name was introduced in dictionary?
2016.
Anyone? 2016, yes. Your voice is breaking.
Who's mine?
Yeah, can you please repeat? I couldn't hear because of the
2003.
noise. Yes. Who is the founder of the Toastmasters?
Ralph Medley.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, proceed. I think your network is troubling you.
So, what was Toastmaster Srinu to attract audience?
Branding.
Yeah, no, 3 strategies he has mentioned. Like excite. 3 E's were there. 3 E's. Excitement, elevate emotional factor,
and elevate.
Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, that was correct. How can we create the brand?
By good PR.
Yes. Okay, can I go ahead? Do we have time?
No, Sushma, I think it is time
Okay. Okay, sir. Yes. Yes, I'll wrap up. Yes.
Thank you, Sushma, for your evaluation about the listening. It's very interesting also. Now, let me give my own evaluation. The Sergeant at Arms has given right in time, and except for always, there is a little bit of energy lagging that could be improved. Now, coming to the Madam President, you have already spent 3 weeks and you have a balance of 23 weeks, I think. I would suggest my Madam President is you forgot today to ring the opening of the meeting by your diary. And the second thing is I would ask you if you could stand up and speak about the what you call about your club and its improvement and also the coming event and all those things. It is your own way of addressing the club would be really ideal because you are the captain of the club and you need to encourage people what to do and also focus on the coming events. Some of these things are really missing from you. I would suggest that you take up this one because you are the commander-in-chief of 23 weeks again. You can do your best to attract the audience and the guests and so on and so forth. Now, coming to the Joker, it's really interesting. And always he is a stage actor and he acts very nicely. And the joke was also very interesting that you will walk on your foot. The Toastmaster of the day has explained to us very well about this YOLO. Even I was not having that idea, the concept of YOLO, but only thing I made it that it is the millennials' way of thinking and not the serious like me. And he has really taken through all the areas where he is responsible. And he spoke very much about the YOLO, which I think every audience has maybe the first time or they are given a very good knowledge on this word, especially because even he said it is in the Oxford Dictionary, but I tried to check it. I could not find maybe in the present revised edition, it might have been included. Then again, Coming to the table topic. The table topic usually is a 2 minutes maximum you have to spend. So I would suggest that people who talk on the table topics, first, don't greet anybody and don't say thank you also, because you have only 2 minutes to go. You have to impromptu speech and you have to think, organize, and deliver. This could not be possible if you started telling all these things. So please refrain from doing that one. The other suggestion would be within these 2 minutes, you need not have to talk the entire things that you have accommodated or you have felt or your emotion or anything. You can only take a few things and do it. So for that, you need not have to go very fast because after all, you are delivering a speech for people to understand. If they don't understand and your speed is so much, then there is no use of this one. And the third thing is that you also watch the timings, which generally in the table topic should not exceed. Now, in general, this session went on very well with a very interesting topic by Mayur, and it is taken up also and answered very well. I have to congratulate Mayur for this wonderful topic that he has chosen today. Now, since the time is already up, I would like to hand over the screen to Toastmaster of the Day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph, for that conducting that comprehensive evaluation segment. So we are now towards the end of our meeting, and I would like to close with a quote from a person called Harvey Mackay. He's an American businessman. So he once said, "Life is too short to wake up with regrets. So love the people who treat you right. Forget about those who don't. Believe everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said life would be easy. They just promised it would be likely to worth it." With that, I would like to hand over back to Madam President. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you for bringing out that wonderful concept of YOLO and highlighting those not so known parts of YOLO. It was indeed an eye opener for me. And I enjoy the camaraderie between you two brothers, the Shashidharan brothers, for you guests who don't know that we have two brothers right here and we heard about the jealousy battles between them. And all in all, I had a delightful time. I savored the meeting. I hope you all did as well. There are a few announcements that I have to make. First of all, I'd say please vote for your best participant in the meeting, best role taker, speaker. In the meantime, I have a few announcements to make. So coming March, we have March 1st, we will have our international speech contest and table topics contest at the club level. So registration links for it are already floating. So please take out the time, enroll yourself, make use of that time, because even though you might feel, hey, I'm not ready for this contest, if you take it up, you really improve. You suddenly jump up in levels when you decide to take part in a contest. It happened to me. I was not very serious, but when I put my mind to it, I really did learn a couple of techniques all in once when I decided to go for a contest. So I've enrolled myself. Joseph sir is another participant. He was the first person who's in fact registered 3 times. So our enthusiastic member. So I'd like to ask all of you to enroll yourself as soon as possible so that we can arrange for a contest chair and judges. And the second announcement is that we will have our 600th meeting with a writer called Amit Bagaria. We're going to have a fireside chat with him. And so this is going to be a special event again. The details of which you will come to know a little later. So what we've done is, instead of putting our 600th meeting right next Monday, we're going to push it a little bit. We're going to celebrate our 600th meeting when it's actually supposed to be a 601st meeting. So it's going to be on 22nd Feb. So this is going to be another interesting conversation with an interesting personality who's written a lot of books. So Ashwini, how's the status of the voting looking like?
Deepa, we have got 11 responses so far.
Okay.
Are we good to go?
Yes, I think. And another thing is, I'm part of a WhatsApp group right now. You know, the world is all connected because of the pandemic, and all the clubs are connected. I'm part of a WhatsApp group where an international speech contest semi-finalist, if you all remember Speech Weavers, Fuzzy Go to Oko, he's opened a table topics WhatsApp group and he gives a prompt every day, and we try out. And I've received, I think, feedbacks from him, excellent feedbacks from him for around a week and a half. I've been thoroughly enjoying. Please let me know if you want to be included in that group. So there's an opportunity that you will never find post-pandemic. Is an excellent speaker, and getting feedback from him is indeed a blessing. So I think we're good to go with the results. Ashwini, you can announce the results.
I think I'll take some time. 15 responses are getting loaded, Deepa. Yes, we are good to go. Best supporting role goes to Toastmaster Deepa, that's you, presiding officer. Best auxiliary role player goes to Grammarian, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Best role taker goes to Toastmaster TM of the day, Toastmaster Ashwin. And best table topic speaker goes to Chitra. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Anjali. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Natasha. So these were the results of voting. Congratulations to all the winners. Over to you, Presiding Officer Deepa.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, to Ashwini, for giving out those results. And these are the kind of things that we have to look forward. Look at small successes at club meetings, every meeting. Aim for your best performance. And that's when you climb up the ladder of becoming a better speaker. So I hope you all had a good time. I'd like to declare meeting 599 close.